Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to Meldon Law and Friends. My name is Charles Rickey. I am the Director of Marketing at Meldon Law, and I'm excited to be here. We're going to have a great show. As you can see, I'm filling in the old captain's chair. Jeffrey and Carrie could not be here, but I am excited to be here, excited to be with our guests today. And as you guys know, Meldon Law and Friends is every Tuesday at 4 o'clock, so make sure to tune in every Tuesday at 4 o'clock. If you can't tune in, we have it on every single form of way you can catch your podcast. Evan makes sure of that, so thank you, Evan. Appreciate it. 38 different platforms from, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, all that good stuff. So once again, thank you guys for being here. Before we get started and introduce our guests, I want to remind you guys, we got a lot of giveaways always on Meldon Law. Make sure to go to the Meldon Law Facebook page. We have a Father's Day giveaway, which is a $200 and $50 gift certificate for Spurrier's, this amazing restaurant. I love it. By the way, the pork chops, one of my favorites. But $200, $50 gift certificate for Spurrier's, along with a Steve Spurrier signed visor. So make sure to enter Dad for that. And also, we're going to have a 4th of July giveaway that it's not posted yet. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, but we're going to have an awesome grill with some Omaha steaks and some Meldon swag. Very exciting giveaway coming to our Meldon Law Facebook. So make sure to go on Meldon Law Facebook so you can get, all the things we have going on, whether it's ticket giveaways or prizes giveaways. So thank you guys. So let's get right into our show. Sarah.
Hi,
how you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm doing well.
So Sarah Seng.
Yes,
Thanks for being here. Sarah is a midshipman in UF's Navy ROTC, which is awesome. And she's on track to commission into the Navy as an ensign. Did I say that correctly?
Ensign
In the spring of 2023. Sarah's from Fort Lauderdale and finishing her degree in psychology and behavioral of cognitive neuroscience, which is amazing. And she would like to be a surface warfare officer when she graduates. More to come on that. Welcome, Sarah. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
So let's get into it really quick. Just break it down. What is the NROTC?
All right. So NROTC stands for Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps. And it's a program where straight out of high school, it provides people a way to get their college degree and enter the military as an officer.
Nice. Nice. So there has to be, there's a family background? Were you just very passionate? How'd you get into it?
So in high school, I did JROTC, Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, and that just introduced me to the structured lifestyle of sort of military culture, and I fell in love with it. I love the structure of it. I love having to wake up early and having something to really push me in all the sorts of different parts of your life. So I was just motivated to join the Navy because I like the ocean, I like ships, I like traveling. So that's why I chose Navy.
Nice. And I that's got to be a tough decision. There's Army, Air Force, obviously Navy. So the Marine life and that kind of lifestyles what brought you, to get in there. So how many years have you been in that program now?
3 years now. Okay. I'm going to my senior year at UF.
Okay, so and how's that been?
It's been incredible. Super challenging. Everything about this program I stand by because it's just incredible. Being taught by lieutenants currently in the Navy and doing drill with our Staff Sergeant James, and being led by our Marine officer instructor, Captain Gage. Just incredible. So much mentorship and leadership, and it just shapes you into the kind of officer you want to be.
That sounds really cool because, as everyone knows, UF is a top, university in this country, and you're going into one of the very important fields that we appreciate. So when you combine that with UF, it's just got to be a powerhouse of a program. How big are there lots of students, or how big is the program?
So our program is about 60 people right now. Previously in history, it used to be way bigger, but the Navy is downsizing its officers currently.
Okay.
So we get about classes of 10 to 15 students their freshman year, and then throughout the challenges of the program, some people drop, some people leave, they don't think it's for them. So we recently commissioned about 15 O1s into the Navy and the Marine Corps. So it's
nice. So you hit it a little bit on the head there, because I was going to ask you. The last several years have been crazy, as you know.
Yes.
How has kind of COVID changed that? You kind of hinted a little. They've been downsizing. The amount of students in there. Has it changed it? Has it affected it? Do you still get to train as much as other students in the past, or how's that been different?
Oh, it's been incredibly different. So starting in 2020, we had to go completely online, which, as you can imagine, for a military training program, it would be very difficult to physically train to get those like qualifications and those briefs in that we need to get. Everything went online. We had like sort of online trackers for what physical training we were doing, and they would suggest workouts for us. Apart from that, we would have to wear our uniform like on Zoom to get our like PowerPoints and our briefs in that we were supposed to get, those trainings. And then as most UF classes also went online, our military classes went online, our naval science classes, our marine science classes. So it was incredibly difficult to keep the level of discipline and like challenge in the program, but we got through it, and we're transitioning back to completely in person now.
That is awesome. I was going to say, so in your case, you got to you're going to get to experience both.
Yes.
Okay. So that being said, is there a certain training or class, or what's probably the most difficult part of the whole curriculum, if you will? I mean, is it the physical? Is it the studying? I mean, because you're doing both actually, right?
Yes. So you're a full-time student, and then you're also basically a full-time ROTC midshipman. I'd say the most difficult part of all of it is sort of balancing both. It's a huge time management task, trying to get all your classes done and all the ROTC training and the physical training. For many people coming in as a freshman, the physical training is the most difficult part, because some people they didn't do sports in high school, or they weren't training up until it. So those Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning physical training sessions, we call them PT, they could be really hard on the mind and on the body. So
would you say like maybe after freshman, sophomore years when you start separating the men and women,
basically,
right?
Yes.
From the girls and boys, if you will. But in all seriousness, to maybe someone in high school that's in JROTC, or a dad or mom that's going to share this podcast, with a nephew, a son, a daughter, what are the benefits? Like obviously, you want to stay in shape. That's easy, right? But if you can talk about some of what you've learned now and what will benefit you later down the road.
Of course. So there are tons of ways to join the military, but doing it through ROTC, one, you get to get a college degree and you get to live that college life.
Yes.
Always a plus, always a good thing. Being able to study and learn from current like naval officers and Marine Corps officers is one of my favorite parts of it. My advisor currently, her name's Lieutenant Etheridge. Shout out Lieutenant Etheridge. She's incredible. I've learned so much from her. She helps get me back on track with academics and physically. It's just being mentored by someone who you could be in their spot 5-6 years from now, right? It's like seeing into the future potentially, as long as you finish the program. Apart from that, you get your college degree paid for as long as you get on that scholarship program.
Very, very important.
Very important. Huge plus. It's a lot of like personal benefits, learning how to be a leader, learning your own leadership style and how to work with others. And you spend 4 years with a bunch of people your age who are going to go into the fleet as well, going into the Navy, going into the Marine Corps. So that camaraderie, that like mentorship, it's better than anything, I could say.
That's really interesting. That led me to think, good point. So if you do the program from freshman, all the way to senior and beyond, those are your true colleagues. I mean, obviously when you're in law school or you go into different schools, those are your colleagues as well, but it's a larger group of students. You guys are 60, you said, right?
Yes.
So I'm guessing that allows you to be a little more tight and know each other a little better, which should in turn down the road have more of a team aspect, if you will.
Absolutely. Especially in a military culture, I'm sure you've heard the phrase "embrace the suck." When you're put through difficult training and difficult times with other people, you just bond more, develop that like brotherhood feeling with your peers, and then when you go into the workforce, you go into the fleet as officers. Everyone around you went through something like that as well, whether it be boot camp or ROTC or the Naval Academy. So just huge bonding and camaraderie.
Okay.
Incredible.
I noticed at the beginning you said you like to be surface warfare officer. So two-part question. One, if you can expand what a surface warfare officer is, and then I'm curious in your tenure at the university if that role you changed it as you went, or if you've always wanted to be that as a freshman or from JROTC, because you learn a lot. So I'm curious to in those years if that changes.
Okay, that's a great question because normally it does change for people. So first, a surface warfare officer is an officer that is assigned to a surface warfare ship. So any of the ships in the Navy, you go in as an O1, you learn how to drive the ship, how to stand watch. Surface warfare just applies to being on a ship.
Okay, got you.
As opposed to submarine warfare or being a naval aviator like in Top Gun.
Got you. Okay. So not necessarily, see, I'm thinking surface warfare officer, first of all, surface on the water, not on the surface. But I was thinking a certain position, whether it be a gunner or on the deck, so that's just all around being able to work all aspects of a ship.
Yes.
Okay, very cool.
Specific billets like relating to weaponry or the nuclear reactor, those come once you commission. So next spring you would be assigned to a ship and given a billet, a duty, whether that be with weaponry or a nuclear reactor.
That sounds cool.
Things. I will not be doing that, but there will be someone.
Hey, listen, I love marketing. That's why I'm the director of marketing. But nuclear reactors and missiles and guns, that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
So that being said, is there a certain area of the ship you would like to gravitate toward, or you kind of don't know how that's going to go?
I don't really know just yet. I know that every O1 that goes on, the first thing that they learn how to do is drive the ship.
Okay.
And stand watch. So that's all I'm looking towards right now. And then whatever billet they assign me, I'm sure I'll pick it up, learn the ropes, be happy to do it.
Which, by the way, drive the ship. That's pretty cool in itself. I mean, that's huge. That's huge because those myth. If you're seasick, not good Navy, or is that not a myth? It's just not going to work for you?
I know a couple of people who their first time on a ship, they did get seasick. Okay. I think you just get used to it as long as it's not too bad.
Because I'm guessing if that became a problem, you just can't be on the Navy. It's just not going to work out for you, right?
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah,
You're on the water for a long time.
I'm guessing in that freshman year, you kind of get weeded out if that's a...
It depends on what... So over the summer, we go on summer trainings relating to what ships or aviation or whatever you are trying to do. The first time you go on a ship would probably be between your sophomore and junior year. Your freshman year, you would likely not be on a ship on the water.
Okay, nice. That's so. You couldn't wait for that to happen, which I'm sure it's already happened, right?
Yes.
So you're pumped up?
Yes, I'm pumped up.
So now I'm going forward here. What's the end? What's the aspiration to be? Is it the full captain of the ship? Is it no? I'm going to use this as a platform to get to somewhere else. I mean, what's the aspiration for you personally through the Navy?
Yeah. So currently, I'm studying psychology. I would like to, after my first contract, I would like to what's called laterally transfer to become a psychologist with the Navy. There's a huge need for psychologists in military and veteran psychology because of our rising levels of suicide rates, unfortunately, in the military.
Wow.
Related to PTSD and just work-related stress and the culture surrounding the military. So I would really like to become sort of a therapist.
I love that. We'll hold that thought. We're going to take a little break, Sarah. We're back. We're here at Meldon Law Friends. We'll take a little quick break. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
Alberta, I understand you were witnesses to a crash. Can you tell us about the accident? When you're in a crash, it's important to get witness statements immediately after the accident. Whether you're in a car, truck, motorcycle, scooter, or even a golf cart accident, at Meldon Law, we won't back down. We still hear it. The sound of victory. The joy of being part of something great. And while things may not be the same right now, we haven't gone anywhere. If you bleed orange and blue, then Meldon Law is the firm for you.
Welcome back, guys, to Meldon Law Friends. I'm Charles Rickey, the Director of Marketing, and we are here with Sarah Seng, just learning about the Naval ROTC and how it's going for her and all the benefits that are from it. But we touched on a little topic before the break, which was PTSD, mental health and all that. If you can touch on how important that is, because you want to gravitate towards the psychology for the Navy, so you can help that aspect. Maybe people don't realize how important that is in that field. If you can touch on that a little bit.
Yes, it's incredibly important. The military culture and just the things that we do can be really taxing on just the day-to-day grind and the mental health of sailors and Marines. Currently, the Navy's pushing out more programs to be accepting and welcoming of people coming forward about mental health issues. But historically, it's been sort of this culture of admitting you're having mental health issues is a sign of weakness. Because we like to be macho and strong, and we like to push down those feelings, but like incidentally, it's causing people to bottle them up and it becomes too much.
It gets worse,
yes.
If anything, yeah.
So my aspiration is to become a psychologist with the Navy to sort of mediate that a little bit and be someone people can come to. Similar to like a chaplain. Chaplains are people that sailors and Marines can go to as well. Which
should make the team do better,
yes.
help protect us.
Of
They'll
course.
be safer out there, which is just, it's much better for everyone. So I got to ask, I know you touched on why you got in the beginning, and it wasn't through traditional, which is usually family history. Are you the first in your family?
No,
okay.
And I'm happy to talk about it. My great-grandmother, Anna, she was a WAVE in World War II. She was a woman volunteer service in World War II, and she was in the Navy.
So WAVE, to the listeners out there, explain what that is and a little bit about it.
Yeah, so WAVE is a woman voluntary emergency service that was in World War II because her husband was drafted into the Navy, so she volunteered and she joined. Most of them were clerical or nurse duties, and she served, and it was incredible. She's still alive.
Awesome. That's awesome. Anna, shout out Anna. So you're honoring that and keeping that tradition going, if you will.
Yeah.
That is cool. Anna, I'm sure, is really proud, and that's awesome. Very cool to keep that going. So a lot of people... how can they reach out to your unit to learn more about the program and perhaps offer support? We were kind of discussing in the break. The students see you guys in uniform, right? They know the program exists, but I don't think people realize that are not in the university that you guys have an NROTC program through the university. And, is there a website? Is there a Facebook group? Just how can people get more information so they can perhaps help or get, people involved?
Yes, so we are on Facebook, UF Navy ROTC, as well as Instagram at UF Navy ROTC. Also, if you have any inquiries or want to support, we have you can reach out to us through email. We're trying to increase that visibility, that support, that involvement, both for people who want to join the program or just want to support future Naval and Marine Corps officers.
Visibility is huge.
Yes.
I mean, especially, in this day and age, where we look up to the military so much, things have happened, and for years in the past, and it's so important that, people continue to be there for us. So we thank you, by the way, first of all, for what you're doing. It's awesome. So the journey to being a Navy psychologist, if you will, you're going to get more training and physical training. You're going to be super well prepared.
I sure hope so.
Any colleagues that you're with right now that are going for that same aspiration, or most of the people in the group, do they want to go out and serve on the ship and continue those aspirations?
It's very different from both college to college, unit to unit, just the makeup of what people want to do. I think at UF, we mainly commission people who want to be naval aviators. Maybe it's how close we are to Pensacola. Maybe it's just our interest in aviation in general, but we normally commission mostly naval aviators, people who want to be either a pilot or a naval flight officer, which helps sort of in the back seat do.
Wow, interesting. So that's the majority of the 60 in the class.
Basically, yes.
And would you say that's pretty much just like you said, regional, just because where we're at, and it's just an easy stepping stone, like you said, to Pensacola right there?
That's true, yeah.
Okay. As opposed to, I know, like, Army is like Fort Irwin, California, and some of those bases, just because of the landscape and the desert and the training and all that, we just happen to be surrounded by water.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So can you talk about how UF differs from, I don't know if you have any friends in other, universities in the same program, but kind of highlight UF and how it differs and how it kind of stands out from other programs.
Yeah, so I do. I know a bunch of other people that I've met, like during summer trainings. Summer trainings are just all the colleges go to like specific trainings, so you get to meet other people from different units. I know that the way that our unit is organized is different from others because ours is organized into departments and divisions, which is the way the Navy kind of has things set up with organizing personnel. But other units, they'll organize it the way the Marine Corps has it, in sort of platoons and fire teams. And this might be a little bit too into the nitty gritty of things. But,
we love getting into the nitty gritty here. Go ahead.
We are like traditionally like set up in the Navy point of view, and we're run primarily with the lieutenants organizing Navy training, and then staff sergeant and our Marine option instructor organizing the Marine Corps students, because we're both under the same program.
Got you. Okay. And when does that kind of like get separated?
Basically, the Marine Corps students will take Marine Corps classes specific, and then in between their junior and senior year,
Got you.
our Marine Corps students will go to officer candidate school to become actual Marines, and it's an incredibly honor for them to go and earn their title as a Marine.
Wow, that's cool.
We have one student going this summer.
Okay.
Jim and Sam Coles, shout out.
Sam Cole?
Excited for you, Sam Coles. Yeah.
Sam, shout out to Sam. Thank you also for what you do, because I heard Marines are awesome. Navy awesome too, but Marines, everyone just says they're like a little more elite. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know about all that.
Well, everyone's got. You guys are all elite, but I guess you guys have fun and you have the inner battles between your own, different. The Air Force. They always joke and say they're smarter. Army, they're the tough guys. Marines are a little bit of everything. So I don't know. So I guess Navy, you guys have the sea legs, huh?
Yeah, got our sea legs.
So I got to ask you, is before you get to being a psychologist, is there anything you want to do that, obviously we got Top Gun in the movie theaters. I'm going to be a little cheesy and say that, but is there anything you want to do before achieving that? Is there anything, maybe, some aspect of the ship that you'd like to work on before transitioning to the mental health side of things, if you will?
Yeah,
I want to shoot a cannon first. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I have any specific jobs that I want to do, but I'm excited to be on a ship, to be able to travel, go to different ports. I really like the idea of driving the ship, and as hard and as taxing as watch standing might be, just being able to stand on the quarterdeck and be in charge of what goes on. I don't know. I love the structure. I love the idea of being out there on a ship. Nice.
How long does watch standing go for?
It depends on the ship, and it depends
I'm sure it's
on
harder
the culture
than it sounds.
of the unit. It could be just 4 hours. It could be 12 hours. It just depends on how many people you have, what's going on.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Where you're at, and like you said, wow, that's cool. You got to be attentive. Can't fall. You need a lot of coffee.
Of course, yeah.
Nice.
Military loves caffeine.
No, I love it. I love it. So do you guys have events, throughout the year that you guys get together, that, that you come so people can support?
Yes, we definitely have some outreach events that we have going on. In the fall, we have our Navy Marine Corps birthday ball that will be open to Gainesville locals who have any sort of military affiliation. If you would like to be invited to that, go ahead and reach out to us.
Yes, let's be invited.
Yes.
Yes, you want to be invited. Put a comment on the podcast so we can listen, Jeffrey, Patricia, sharing the history with you, because I didn't know a lot about it. We know a lot about the Navy and, kind of the basics that, we hear, but we don't know how much goes into it, the preparation, on the student side of things as you're prepping to get in there. And look, in this case, we learned that you, Sarah, you want to be a psychologist. We're not just going to shoot cannons and run around a ship all day. So that's really cool. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate you sharing your story with us.
Of course.
So is this, I know you said junior year, right?
I'm going to my senior year.
You're going to your senior year. So we have just 1 year left?
Yes.
And then how long before, do we get right into psychology? Do you have to do, some, for the people who don't understand, you have to serve some time, if you will?
Yes.
Okay.
So, you serve in contracts.
Okay.
So after the first 1 or 2 contracts, I would be given the option to laterally transfer into sort of a restricted line position. Because through ROTC, you can only commission into unrestricted line. Unrestricted meaning you can become the commander of the ship, and you're unrestricted with how much you can achieve sort of in the chain of command of things.
Got you, okay.
But with restricted line, like if you want to be a lawyer, a psychologist, in the medical corps, you can't be a psychologist and the captain of the ship, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So you would laterally transfer to a restricted line position like psychology, get your master's in psychology, and then be able to serve as that position.
Wow.
So it might be 4, 5, 6 years until I'm
I
given
was
that
just
opportunity.
gonna say, got
yeah.
you, okay.
But that's kind of the long-term goal for me.
But that's part of the trade-off, right? It's part of serving. We're going to give you this education, all these benefits, all this awesome training. You're going to be an awesome person. And then for that, you give us some time, then you go off to be what you want to be. That's amazing. That's really cool. And I'm sure you're going to line up to have fantastic benefits and do great things. So thank you, Sarah Seng, for being here with us, sharing a little history on the, especially Anna, on her history as a wave. Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
So Anna as a wave, and now your tenure into the Navy ROTC. So appreciate you. Thanks for being on with Meldon Law Friends. And anything you want to say before we go?
Go Gators!
That's right. Go Gators. I love it. Get the chomp in. All right. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it. And we have our next guest coming up soon, so we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back with our next guest here on Meldon Law and Friends. Thank you.
Alberta, I understand you were witnesses to a crash. Can you tell us about the accident? When you're in a crash, it's important to get witness statements immediately after the accident. Whether you're in a car, truck, motorcycle, scooter, or even a golf cart accident, at Meldon Law, we won't back down.
We are here at the University of Florida, where Albert and Alberta are competing in the Gator penalty shootout. Albert is ready to stop the shot at all costs. What a disaster! Luckily, Meldon Law is the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. If you have suffered any injury, do not worry, because Meldon Law is going to help you with your recovery. Meldon Law doesn't back down until they reach their goal.
Well, I was in a truck accident. Because of the accident, I've resulted in 3 back surgeries. We saw advertisements on TV, and guess who popped up more often than not? It was Jeffrey. The communication that he provided was so appreciative. He shows his compassion as a human. He assisted us in achieving one of our dreams, the acquisition of a home, and we're here today with smiles on our face with the assistance from Jeffrey.
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe this. Look what you have done to my truck.
Excuse me, it's your fault, it's not my fault.
Yes, it is your fault.
No,
I am calling Jeffrey Meldon from Meldon Law.
So I'm gonna call Jeffrey, my husband.
Meldon Law, this is Jeffrey speaking.
Jeffrey!
This crazy lady here, this crazy lady, he might...
New client?
Yes, but this one might be a little tricky. When you're a member of the Gator Nation, you know what it means to never back down. Meldon Law has been a proud supporter of the Gator Nation since 1971. 2 forces that won't back down. As the old saying goes, If you can't beat them, join them. We still hear it. The sound of victory. The joy of being part of something great. And while things may not be the same right now, we haven't gone anywhere. If you bleed orange and blue, then Meldon Law is the firm for you.
Hey guys, welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. Once again, my name is Charles Ricky, the Director of Marketing for Meldon Law. I'm excited to be here. We have a great show so far. We have two awesome guests today. You guys learned about our first guest, Sarah Seng. She was great. And now we have Steve Claytor. So between these two guests, I feel like I got to step my game up, man. Right? Sarah with the Navy ROTC, and Steve Claytor, or Claytor, right, is an experienced outdoorsman and survival instructor, which is very, very important. Driven by his passion for the outdoors, he takes pride in providing the best experience possible at a reasonable price, right? So we're going to teach everything you need to know. We're not going to charge you too much while we're doing it. As a guided instructor, his goals are to provide people with life-saving and logical but realistic survival skills while providing that amazing experience that hopefully you never forget, because you're going to need that. Steve,
Absolutely.
Thanks for being here, man.
No problem. Thanks
Yeah,
for having
definitely,
me.
man. So experienced outdoorsman, before we get into all the other stuff, just how'd that come about, man? Were you young, running around the woods, or what?
Yes, exactly. When I was a kid, that was just my thing. We lived way out in the country in Summerfield, and I didn't have any neighbors, so that was my thing to do, was just to go out into the woods. It was my place to be, and I've always loved it. Love being in the wilderness. It's it's always going to be consistent.
Yep. You had that freedom to go and explore and just be free.
It is, and it's a good place to process thoughts and to have peace of mind and see some beautiful stuff. I mean, there's just nothing bad about nature except maybe the ticks and mosquitoes.
I was gonna say, yeah. As long as you don't get ticks and mosquitoes,
but that can be mitigated, you know.
Yeah. All right, so before we get into 10CAN, you're the Wilderness Division Director for 10CAN. You have been for 5 years, right?
Correct.
So before we get into that, I got to ask you, growing up, when did you know that this was going to happen, or did this come about recently, or
being in the woods, or the tin can?
The 10CAN,
Okay.
just that
tin
drive.
can came out of the blue, man. The founder called me one day and asked if I could donate some stuff for something they had coming up, and I said sure. And we met up somewhere in a place in Ocala, a little cafe. And he told me what they had going on. I said sure, I'll help. And I was the first one that decided to do something with him. And so he just kept me on board. And since then, it's been very symbiotic. I mean, I've been able to help the organization a lot, and he's helped me grow my business a lot and make a lot of contacts, and it's just been wonderful for both of us and for all the people we've been able to help.
All right, so let's get right into it. For the people out there like, wait a minute, 10CAN, never heard of it, never seen that. They're probably Googling, or they're going to Google like 10CAN. Yeah. What's 10CAN? What's it about? How long has it been going on? Just tell us about 10CAN.
Awesome. Okay, so 10CAN, for one, it's the number 10, CAN. So okay. A lot of people don't search for the word 10 like
10,
aluminum,
then
CAN.
10.
Correct, 10CAN. And it started off as 10CAN. Now it's Florida can, Georgia can, Alabama can, Pennsylvania. We're in 47 states now.
Oh, wow.
So we've went from a little small town thing that was first, the R&D on it was happening in Newberry, Florida. Back in 2005 is when the founder first started trying to get this together. And now we've grown to a 47-state Christian Adventure Network is what CAN stands for.
Christian Adventure Network. Okay, so, got it.
Now we're all over. And what it is an organization that is trying to save heroes, work with veterans and first responders and active military, raise the next generation of warriors, and heal people through the great outdoors and faith and family.
I love that. We were just talking with Sarah Seng, and she's going to go into the Navy, but not to eventually end in the Navy. She wants to be a psychologist to help PTSD people in the Navy that are struggling with that, because that's a very serious thing. And I love hearing that from you, because that's important. I don't think people, mental health is starting to get talked about more, but if you can elaborate on specifically how you help individuals like that and what it means to them.
Absolutely. So PTSD is something that people are starting to learn about and hear about, and it's becoming a common term but a lot of people don't understand what the causes of it are and how it can affect people and their families and responders and everyone else. And we deal with not just the person that's dealing with the PTSD, but also their families who deal with what we call secondary PTSD. So they deal with a whole different set of trauma because of the stuff that the responder or the veteran has went through, and it affects the whole family. So our goal is to give them a space in the outdoors, an adventure, an experience, whether it's hunting for alligators or deer or pigs, or maybe an all-ladies turkey hunt, or having a camp out for kids, or going scalloping or fishing or lobstering, all these different things that we do. We've done Purple Heart veteran retreats with the Warrior Bonfire program. We team up with a lot of other nonprofits that work with veterans and stuff. But what we do is we provide them a space to either talk to people that have been through the same kind of trauma so that they can process that trauma and learn what other people are doing to combat the things that they're thinking, and or give them a safe space to where they can forget about it for a little while and just focus on something else entirely. So they can just kind of set it aside. And what we have learned over the years is that outdoor recreational therapy is about 80% more effective than anything else in healing PTSD.
80% more effective.
Yes.
I love that. Outdoor recreation therapy. So you touched on a good point, Steve. I want to highlight this. You said a women's turkey hunting, or like, so this could be anyone, any a corporate group, faith, church. I mean,
absolutely.
Students, right? Like anyone.
Anyone can come to a lot of the things that we do. And what we do is for the veterans and the responders and stuff, we try to sponsor them, and we do things for free for the veterans and the responders and their families. But anyone can come, and sometimes we'll charge a small fee, but it's never, crazy. And what we've done now is created a membership program where people can go onto the website, Tin Can Outdoors, and they can actually sign up for a membership, and they can come out to these different hunts and things that we do and sign up for them. And there's several different packages that they can choose from, or they can just go in and donate. So we do stuff with all ladies, we do stuff with all warriors or veterans, we do stuff with all first responders. We did a paddle down the Rainbow River with some law enforcement and their wives, just to give them a day of gratitude and thanks for what they do.
All right, so I love it because you're ahead of me every single time. This is fantastic. So I was just going to say that simple. Is the group experience custom? In other words, are you training the same thing every time, or is one maybe based on fishing, one's on learning how to build a fire, one is more, or is it kind of general everything?
So with the North Florida Survival, which is my business and what we do, we have several different things, from the survival, like a weekend warrior program that we do where they learn all the basics of primitive wilderness survival. We have a 4-day river adventure we do where they're going down river, paddling a vessel for 4 days, sleeping on the river banks, and they're limited to 10 pounds of gear and living off the land. That one's a little challenging.
I don't know if I can you do that? I don't know if I can do that. 10 pounds of gear only.
Only, yeah.
All right.
And then we have a week advanced course, which is a full week long, and that's 4 days of training, 3 days of actually implementing, abandoning all your modern gear and living off the land with the skills that you've learned and the tools that you handcrafted. And then we do like a 1-day crash course. For Tin Can, what I do is I go out to some of the hunt camps, the fish camps, things like that, and a lot of times I'll help them run logistics of the camp. So I'll help with the cooking, the organization of everything, and then in the middle of the hunts, like say if I go to a hunt camp, they'll have like a 3-hour window on Saturday between the morning hunt and the evening hunt after lunch, to where I'll take the kids out and I'll give them a crash course in wilderness survival, which is important for any youth or adults or anyone that spends time in the wilderness to learn what to do in a bad situation. How to make a shelter quickly and simply, how to stay warm, how to thermoregulate, because most people die from exposure, which leads to dehydration or hypothermia. But it's all because their body's exposed to the heat, the cold, the wet.
People don't realize how cold it gets at night.
It can,
Yeah.
especially when you're wet. We always say the only thing that sucks more than being cold is being wet and cold.
Yeah.
But we go out and we just do so much with these veterans and their families. And the family thing is really important. So we'll do stuff with just the veterans and the first responders, but having their family there with them to create a bonding experience is key for us, because that's part of our what's ingrained in us. It's not just helping them, it's helping them and their families to all heal together.
That's cool. Is there a limit on amount of people, different size groups?
Well, we work with FWC, and the stuff that we do, there is a limit, because the places we go, number one, say it's a hunt camp, we want to keep it safe. We don't want to have a whole bunch of people with bullets going in different directions. And we have guides. We have a ton of volunteers that come out with us, and I'd say we retain probably about 80% of the people that come and do activities with us. We retain as volunteers.
Really?
So people see what we're doing, they love what we're doing, and they want to be a part of it because they feel it.
That's awesome.
They get a sense of it. So what we'll do is we'll go out, and the hunting guides and the hunt master will set up different areas. They have like a satellite view of the area. They'll set up shooting lanes, make sure everything's safe. Nobody's going to be crossing paths or anything. And We will. I mean, it's just we dot all the I's, we cross all the T's, and we get everything spot on. So.
In other words, safety first, like
Safety
anything else.
first, absolutely.
And
we have a hunt master that comes out, make sure that all the kids can hit the target because we want humane kills on any of the animals that we get. We don't want anything suffering. We're all about sportsmanship and doing things the right way. And when I say it's a Christian Adventure Network, understand we don't push faith on anyone. We run clean camps. Our goal is to show Christ in our actions.
Okay.
So we'll have like a service on Sunday morning around the fire before everybody goes out and hunts, and people are welcome to come to it, or they can just sleep in until it's time to go hunt. But what we ask is that nobody comes out drinking, smoking, dipping, or anything like that. We run a clean camp because we want to be role models to these youth. We want to be ambassadors to show them the way that they, should grow up, and we want to raise the next generation of warriors.
Wow, I love it. I'm assuming every situation, every group is different, but for someone interested, they want to get pricing on this. I'm not going to ask you to put the pricing out there, but what's the website they can go to?
10 Can Outdoors. That's the number 10.
Yep.
CAN Outdoors .us and
10 number 10 Can Outdoors
.us.
.us.
Yep. And they can go there, and they can. They've got several different packages to choose from. They can just donate if they want to donate. They can do a supporter package, which is $35 a year. They can do a hero plan, which is $49. They have the family plan for $99, and then the sponsor a hero package, which is $149
for the year.
For the year.
Okay, touch base on that.
Yeah.
I'm in marketing. Everything I measure is ROI. I love ROI. Sounds like a really good ROI.
It is, and so what it is each package gives you access to different things that we have going on. So you might get, in one package, you might get access to come out to one of the hunts.
Okay.
And another package, you might not. It might just be more of a thank you for helping kind of package.
Yeah.
So, read the stuff and see what fits best for you and what you want to do. And then, pick the package that works for you.
Nice. So let's say Jeffrey wants to take us all outdoors and we're going to survive for a week.
Right.
Which I don't know what the firm would do. That would be crazy, but it'd be fun.
We do a lot of team building, and I've had several large companies come out with their employees, the ones that they can convince to come out into the woods.
I think it'd be cool.
And we do a lot of team building and stuff with large companies. So I've done that through North Florida Survival, and we have a blast, man.
So depending on the amount of people, they can go online and kind of check those options and,
Absolutely.
and get more information from you.
And if they want to do it through Tin Can, we can do it through there. If they want to do stuff through North Florida Survival, we can do it through there as well.
I love it. So you also said the owner of North Florida Survival and Adventure. That's for 7 years. So you've had that 7 years, and then got with 10 Can the last 5.
Correct.
So you felt a nice,
I love it. Like I said, we retain about 80% of the people that come out and do activities with us.
That's amazing.
And I was one of the people. I didn't go out to participate as a hunter or a responder. I went out to volunteer. But I loved it so much, I wanted to keep on and stay on with it, and a lot of people do.
Nice. That's real cool. And by the way, in the beginning you said from Newberry, but now it's in 47. Was it originating in Newberry?
It originated from Newberry.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. Dr. Matthew Burke, retired from the Air Force, is
very
medically
cool.
retired. He's the one that founded this, and he now lives in St. Augustine. But he's there. I'm in Ocala. Our hunting division director's down in Bushnell. We have aquatics division. We have all kind of stuff going on. So
I love it.
Yep.
Speaking of all kind of stuff going on, I feel like you're like our most interesting man, like the Dos Equis guy. Yeah. So it says here, and the tracking task force leader for Marion County's search and rescue.
Yes.
That sounds really important.
Yeah.
Sounds really serious. Talk to me about that. That's been going on for 6 years.
So I highly recommend people to give back to the community in some way.
Okay.
And one of the other ways I like to do that is search and rescue. Anyone can go to a search and rescue meeting and kind of sit in and watch what's going on. And if they'd like to, they can join. And the great thing about Marion County Search and Rescue, we don't get called out very often, but we go to a lot of events and we provide medical support and stuff like that. And if we do get called out, we need a lot of volunteers because not everybody can go every time there's a call to search for someone. So the more people we have in our volunteer base, the more we can pull from and have people show
Steve,
up.
for someone listening that's going to share this with someone who might want to volunteer, what kind of day is that like? What are you doing out there? Who are you helping? I mean, I know that could be anything and everything.
All kind of things. So we do a lot of events. We'll go to like a big Jeep event. And we'll provide medical support, and they can work shifts. They can work half of the day. They can work the full day. It's up to them, and it's all volunteer. But you will get all kind of training too. So there's bonuses to giving back to your community. You can get some medical training. I teach the people in search and rescue the basic survival stuff for free. So I mean, it's you get out of it, but you also give back.
Nice. So I know you said in the beginning your role specifically with 10 Can. You've now moved up. What's your exact position?
The Wilderness Division Director.
Wilderness Division Director.
Yep.
Okay.
And with that, it's so you have the Wilderness Division, you have the aquatics, you have the hunting, but Wilderness kind of encompasses all of them. So
Got you. So okay.
I can help with any of them. I help with logistics. I can help with. I mean, I'm versed in diving and lobstering and scalloping, hunting, all of it. So I go out and I help anywhere that's needed. But I also have my own division, which I'm trying to grow into something that will have activities for all kinds of people.
So we need more volunteers, right? Steve, you need more volunteers?
Always volunteers.
So go to 10 Can and make sure to volunteer, get some more information. Sounds really cool. It sounds like you can get a workout while you're at it too.
You can definitely get some workout, but you can also eat good. I mean, we always eat good while we're out there. So I haven't lost any weight, but as a survivalist, this is a backup plan for me.
Nice. All right, we're going to take a little break. We'll come back with Meldon Law and Friends. I didn't even see the timer. We're going on here. I love it. So I'm going to ask a very interesting question that I asked them before we started, but we're going to take a little break. Check out the commercial. We'll be back with Meldon Law and Friends.
Alberta, I understand you were witnesses to a crash. Can you tell us about the accident? When you're in a crash, it's important to get witness statements immediately after the accident. Whether you're in a car, truck, motorcycle, scooter, or even a golf cart accident, at Meldon Law, we won't back down. When you're a member of the Gator Nation, you know what it means to never back down. Meldon Law has been a proud supporter of the Gator Nation since 1971. Two forces that won't back down. As the old saying goes, if you can't beat 'em, join 'em.
Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Charles Rickey, the Director of Marketing for Meldon Law, and we're with Steve Claytor, learning about outdoor wilderness, fishing, hunting, just being a outdoorsman, which I love it. Right? Or an outdoors woman. In this day and age, we can't, because you just said a group of women turkey hunting.
Yeah. There's a lot of lady bushcrafters out there.
Listen, if you're a lady bushcrafter out there and you want to get a group together and go turkey hunting with the ladies, that's the man right there. All right, no, in all seriousness, guys, welcome back. We're learning about 10 Can and all the great things Steve's got going on. But I want to ask, you talked about the Wilderness Division, right?
Yes.
What are your specific goals for that division? Is it getting to a certain number of people? A certain number of outreach? What are your goals for that division?
So my main goal right now is to grow the division's capabilities. I want to be able to make it to where we can provide logistical support better for the other divisions, as well as provide activities for our own division. And one of the big things that we're trying to do with that is get our bus on the road. Alachua County School Board donated us a bus, and we're trying to get that bus outfitted and rigged up and on the road. So to do that, we have to get it insured. We have to have a driver. We have to have it outfitted with gear from somewhere like Bass Pro. We have to.
Wait a minute, hold on. So we're getting a bus together.
Yes.
We're getting a bus together.
Yes.
It's going to be a big wrapped bus.
Yep. The cool bus.
The cool bus.
Yep.
And we're going to transport people to and from events.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And it's going to be yours for your program and all aspects of your program.
Yes.
All right. So that sounds fun.
It is.
Who are we looking for? How can people help?
Okay.
So what do we got going on with the bus?
So it's a handicap accessible bus. It has the ramp, and our goal is to be able to actually pick people up and take them to the events and be able to use that for the handicaps during the hunt as well. What would be good connections for us to get this done, of course, would be, mechanic, insurance company. We want to get it wrapped before we get it on the road. So we're looking for a sponsor to help us get it up and going. But I would say the things that we can do with it are endless. And the bus is going to be a huge help for us. We have a lot of things going on. We have a lot of the things that we have done is done all through volunteers. No one in our organization yet gets paid. Everything's volunteer.
Really?
Absolutely.
Everything is volunteer.
All of the money that
Love
we've
that.
raised so far goes into programs. I think just this past year we paid our CPA, and we might have a grant writer that we're starting to pay. And that's the only two positions that have ever been paid in Tin Can.
Because they get revenue.
Correct.
Yeah, it's
Correct.
important. Yeah.
And so everything else is volunteer. So all the money that we raise literally goes back into the programs, which is great. No, I don't know any other things that work with warriors and first responders that can actually say that, and that's what we do. So the challenges we face are getting the bus on the road and getting to the people that need us, letting them know that we're there for them, and what we can do for them. And that's probably two of the biggest challenges I'm facing right now.
Wow. So that bus is going to help us achieve that.
That bus is going to help us a ton.
In a perfect world, we want that as soon as possible. Is there a season for that? I mean,
We go year long. Like during the pandemic, a lot of places shut down. We hit the gas. We went forward, and we actually went more hardcore and started getting more things done during the pandemic. So
that bus will be kind of traveling everywhere,
everywhere.
So not just in Gainesville.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm based out of Ocala, which is where it'll be sitting in different places to show off the. So the sponsor of the bus will get a 2.5 foot banner all the way around the bottom, as well as acknowledgement on our social media and our printed material. But it's parked in Ocala, and it will be traveling all over. So we do hunts in Kentucky, we do hunts in Alabama with people from Florida, and then we have people that come from other places into Florida to do hunts and fishing trips and different stuff with us. So it'll be huge for us to have that on the road, have the capabilities, be able to store all the camping gear, and be able to work with a lot more youth, which is one of my personal big goals. I want to start working with a lot more youth, specifically single-parent families and troubled youth.
Okay. So, other than money, because money's the right. If we had money, we'd be able to do a lot of things. Are there other challenges? You said it's all volunteers. So, are you low on staff right now? Could you use volunteers?
We can always use volunteers.
Is that one of the biggest challenges you're facing?
I don't think it's the biggest. Our volunteer base is pretty solid.
Okay, because you said 80%.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. We could always use more. But we have a really awesome pool of volunteers that we can pull from. So
it sounds like the more events you do and you hit the 80%, it's just going to fill that funnel.
It just keeps going. And of course, you're going to have attrition.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think, the way we're growing and it's snowballing, I think that we probably shouldn't have too much trouble with volunteers. So if you want to volunteer, come out. We can use everyone from people at camp to just help keep everything tidy and cleaned up, cooks, food, whatever you want to do. I mean, people can come out to any of these camps and help with anything.
I love it. That's pretty cool. We're in the summer. Any events coming up? How's your calendar filled out? Already?
So there is space. So
okay.
If we can get this bus on the road, I plan on doing several camping trips with people from some children from low income housing to get them interested in the outdoors, to give them something to do during the summer, keep them out of trouble, stuff like that. But other than that, we have several events coming up. And I wrote down some notes here. Let's see, June 25th, we have a warrior scalloping trip.
Okay.
So people that want to go scalloping, we have that. On August 8th, we have a gator hunt for heroes. So we're going to be taking some veterans out.
A gator hunt?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yep. We have a lot of people that donate tags if they get their tags, or they'll donate one of their tags. And if you're interested in doing that, you got gator tags this year, and you want to donate one to a warrior, get with us. You can go to Tin Can Outdoors and just click on the homepage and look for the donate button, and you can go in there and you can donate some tags too for a warrior to be able to go on a gator hunt.
That's pretty cool. That I don't think people realize how easy that is if you're not using that, and you could just donate that.
So I hunt for meat, so I don't need 2 gators worth of meat. So I'm going to donate one of my tags that I got this year. First year I got tags. So I'm excited to donate one to a warrior, and then I'll still be able to get enough meat to put some gator meat in my freezer. And so I'll be able to provide something awesome for that warrior and his family that will get to go on that gator hunt with them.
So I got to ask you, outdoor cooking, survival, what's the best way to cook gator?
So I like to fry it. I'll season it in seasoned buttermilk for about 3 days in the fridge. Let it break down all that stuff.
Evan, you hearing this, man?
and then I'll batter it in some seasoned batter and then deep fry it. That's my go-to for gator.
I love it. I love it. All right, that's cool. So we need to do some gator hunting. By the way, the scalloping sounds cool. When did you say that was again?
That's on June 25th.
June 25th. How many people can go to that? Is there a limit?
I'm not sure.
What's the cost on that?
I'm sure there is a limit, and
okay.
I'm not sure on the cost. It probably depends on if you're a warrior, a first responder, or just a regular civilian.
Gotcha.
So I would say go on the website and sign up, and then check from there.
Jeffrey, we're going scalloping. 25th, if you're here.
It's like an underwater Easter egg hunt. Have you ever done it?
I have not. That's why I want to do it.
Dude, you throw on a
my
snorkel,
friends have done it.
You throw on a snorkel and fins, and when you look at them, their eyes are so beautifully blue iridescent under the water. They sparkle and shine, and they're almost impossible to get away from you. So long as you just grab it and stick it in the bag, you've got it. But if you just kind of bump it, sometimes they'll away. But they're good. They're tasty, fresh scallops, and it's an adventure.
That's cool. Awesome. That sounds fun. That's an all-day thing?
You can do it all day. A lot of people are pretty whooped by about half a day of scalloping.
Nice. Nice.
A lot of swimming. Yep.
All right, so the biggest way to help support is basically to go onto the website, right?
Go on the website.
Or volunteer your time.
Volunteer.
Yep. If you can't give money, would you say that the next best thing is just volunteering some time?
Absolutely.
Taking maybe a staff outing to help volunteer to give that time back?
Absolutely. Or they can, if they're interested in wrapping the bus, insuring the bus, fueling the bus, driving the bus, or outfitting the bus, they can give us a call or give me a call at 352-502-5444. 5355 anytime. And
502-5355. I have some ideas on the bus.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to say too much right now, but that sounds very cool. That's exciting.
Oh yeah.
Do you have the wrap already designed other than the sponsor?
No,
do you,
no, but
do you have the vision for it?
We have the people ready to do it.
Okay.
They just everyone's money's tight right now, man.
Yeah.
So nobody can really do anything for free. And I respect people's profession and business too. I don't want to ask for things for free. I'd like to get sponsors and pay people for what they're worth.
Money's tight, Steve, because people are doing their thing again.
Yeah,
for 2 years, people have been locked up.
Yeah.
You're an outdoors guy.
And now they're out and about. And now we have inflation, and then fuel prices are going up. So everything's on the rise. But this makes it even more important for us to be able to do stuff with these veterans, and provide these services for them, because right now they might not be able to afford to otherwise.
Yeah, and I love the helping the underprivileged. I'm gonna personally look into that and see how I can help you with some contacts, because I think that teaching someone in youth how to fish, how to catch fish, and that whole survival skill is huge. I think it's underrated.
It's fun.
And you're literally teaching someone how to survive, how to eat.
What I've learned is that if we take them out on something like a rite of passage experience survival, like a ropes course, we'll take them down the river for several days, have them living off the land, teach them survival skills. It gives them a sense of accomplishment and self-worth that will encourage them to be a better person and make better decisions. So a great connection for us would be someone in the Department of Juvenile Justice, local judges that are dealing with these troubled kids or that see them a lot, places like the Arnett House that deal with troubled youth, to help us get them into a program to where we can give them some self-worth, give them something like a clean, pure hobby. They keep them busy, keep their hands busy, activities, and keep them out of trouble.
Keep them basically active.
Active.
I love it. All right, guys. So you know what to do. Go to, one more time, 10can outdoors.us.
Yep.
10 outdoors.us. Make sure to get a bunch of information. Make sure to drop Steve a line, because this is pretty cool. I learned a lot, and I don't want to go without saying shout out to Steve's wife Taylor, and by the way, a baby boy Cooper. How's Cooper?
Yeah, he's 8 months now.
So 8 months. I'm sure Cooper can catch a fish already. Knowing you.
Almost. He can definitely eat them. He eats everything we eat.
I love
There's
it.
nothing that he doesn't like yet.
I'm sure Cooper, by the age of 1.5, he'll be casting.
He'll be taking over and teaching for me, and I'll just be sitting back and cooking the meals.
I love it. I love it. No, honestly, Steven, thank you. We've had two great guests on, and Sarah and yourself, two individuals that are giving back into the community. I don't think we have that enough. I'm proud of working in Meldon Law, because I know Jeffrey Carey, our firm, gives back to the community, which is why we're doing this podcast, to highlight individuals like yourself, like Sarah, like us, doing good things, which is what I'm excited about, which is why I love working here. So thanks for being on, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having
me. We're
me.
definitely going to collaborate, and we have our office sign in Ocala, which is on Pine, which is a big jumbotron. We might have 10can website going on there soon, so I'm going to talk to you about that.
Awesome.
We definitely want to collaborate with our guests and keep that going. So once again, guys, thank you for being today on Meldon Law Friends. Jeffrey and Carrie could not be here. They will be here next week. So you got me today. I was excited to fill in. Once again, my name is Charles Rickey, the Director of Marketing for Meldon Law. We are Meldon Law Friends. Thanks again for watching. We're here every Tuesday at 4 o'clock every single week. We'll see you next week. Have a great rest of your week, guys. Thank you.